Happy Monday, everyone, and welcome back to some Minecraft After Work. I hope everyone had a good weekend. I had a very nice weekend, I'd say. Very relaxing. Um, let's work on the house today. We don't have a whole lot to do, but I think some housework will ease us into the rest of the week, which is only one day for me because tomorrow is my last day of work for the holiday. Today is June 30th, and tomorrow will be July 1st. After that, I will be on vacation. So there's no Minecraft after work because there's no work. So I'm excited for that. It'll be nice to take a long deserved break. What's wrong, Meg? Okay, weird. But that does mean, unfortunately, no Minecraft after work. Um, So I figured out what I am probably going to be doing with. Can I please just sleep? Jesus. I figured out what I'll probably be doing in terms of what is it called? Um, Overtime. If I ever have to do overtime, overtime. My job is common around this time of year, and then it gets pretty rare afterwards for a while because what we do it relies on this huge rush in the summer months right now. Um, so if I get OT this year, my girlfriend one will be very displeased with me, but she knows that the OT is important. Oh wait, hold on. Yep. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. Um, Yeah, that looks better on the waves. I was playing modern Minecraft and audio reset. Um, so I hope we can. I hope I don't need to do OT this year. If I do, though, I have the idea of what we're gonna do together. Um, like you and I specifically, not her and I. Um, I want to probably. It's gonna probably be a modern version of Minecraft, and it'll probably be a one-off energy because of how inconsistent um, OT is for me. I couldn't make a standing series where um, we go back to the world or something because realistically speaking, me there's a very low chance that I would be able to return to that world for a substantial amount of time. So, um, I was thinking of doing something a little bit more spontaneous. Multiplayer came to mind for a little while, but I suck at most multiplayer mini games and what have you, so that was kind of out of the question for me. I could do. There's a lot I could do. Um, and truth be told, I'm not entirely convinced that me doing like a blitz through of like a mod would be good. What's nice is I will know OT is coming, so what I could do is like um, for Minecraft overtime, what I could do is like throughout that week or week and a half or whatever, um, I can um, I can prepare a modded world, just play a ton of modded, and then at that point I can when overtime comes up, I can simply bring you guys into the modded world I've been playing for the past week or so, And then the normal series can also benefit from that because I can talk about it and be like, "Oh, you guys are gonna love this. The overtime coming up, and I can hype it up. Everyone will love it or something." Come on. I don't know, series ideas. I've also been bouncing the idea in my head of actually trying to make the XP to 20 series. I mentioned it very briefly in my first episode of, quote, a project where I reviewed a game up to level 20. I called it XP to 20 because it was catchy in my head. And what the series was is essentially it was a series that looked at a game with a level system. It didn't matter if it was like XP based or like stage based. It was an XP system, and then I judged it based on how far you could get into the game at that level. So, for example, something like D&D, where level 20 of your character is like the max level, versus something um, like Super Mario Bros, where level 20 is like World 3, like assuming every level's 4, so like World 4, right? At the 20th level. So that's like halfway through the game. Um, I think it would be a fun little way to review a game without um, with a unique twist, because there could be more to the game afterwards, or this could be it right here. The game I wanted to do was 100% Orange Juice because my personal account for that game is currently at like level 20. You know, it's like level 50 now. It's something crazy high. Usually you get like a level per match there, so we would have a good amount of time. And I had like a very basic script down, where I wanted to be as informative on the game structure, um, and whatever, um, and give as much information about the game as I could. So I think the series has some ground. The issue is for me, um, that intro specifically to the game has seen maybe 6 revisions, and I'm just not happy with anything I've written. And I think that's just like writer's curse, you know. You can never write something good because you're your own worst critic, kind of deal. Um, I think there's some I think there's some a log stuck in here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. There we go. So tomorrow, girlfriend's coming back. I talked to her. She's very excited to return to the series and continue her misadventures. We're gonna try to make it a little shorter this time, so it's not gonna be 2 hours. It's gonna be a normal, more um, average length, we'll say, adventure. So stay tuned for that. All right, I'm excited. I love spending time with her. My only downside is I talked to her about it. My only downside is when I'm with somebody, I don't talk. I have a hard time talking. Let's make this basic frame really quick here. And then we'll figure out what the second floor realistically is going to look like. Let me go grab some cobblestone really quick here. Ow. I don't really know what the second floor needs. Where? Am I dumb? I just chopped down all this wood for no reason. Oops. Well, that's what I get for not, like, putting it directly in my inventory. Be like, hey, use this. Excuse me. Wow. I also thought about, for overtime, like, maybe recording and uploading, like, a session of, like, D&D that I've played. I've got 2 active games going on right now. One's a Mutants and Masterminds, and one's a Fire Emblem inspired game. The Fire Emblem inspired one is a little bit more unstable, as in other people are recording that. And they haven't uploaded anything, which I'm still not entirely sure why we haven't uploaded anything at this point. So, alright, let's sketch out, like, a design here. I kind of like this. Oh, you know what would look kind of nice, I wonder? If I knock this out, right? And then, hold on. I'm seeing a vision. I'm having a vision. A brain blast. And then, hold on. Right, yeah. We do something like, I don't know, like, right, yeah. No, yes. And then something, maybe, I think I have to do full blocks for this if I do this. I think it only makes sense for it to be like 2 blocks long. Because this is not a large opening here. You know? I think I like the idea, but maybe I can just make this more like a flower bed garden thing. Yeah, because this looks kind of silly. I'm not crazy about it. I saw the vision. I'll just make that a window, I think. Rather than like a balcony. I had the vision, but the vision wasn't good. I don't know, like, I want to make this as like its own room, maybe. I don't know. What was I saying? So, I'm having a lot of fun with that Fire Emblem. You know what? I might record one of my one-shots in the future. I think that would be cool. For those who don't know, when I play D&D, I do primarily one-shots. Because the medium of a one-shot is a lot more fluid for me. Thus, it makes it easier for me to create something with a one-shot. This already kind of mimics the first floor. I'm not crazy about that. You know what I could do? Hold on. No, that's a little too much. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shrink this by like 4 blocks, right? Put one here, diagonal it to here. And then this is a room. I don't want to make this a hall. I want to make this its own kind of room area. So what I think I'm gonna do is wall pillar out, pillar, it makes sense for this to be a wall right here. I think what we do is we match it here. Oh, you know what we could do? Hold on. Because I don't think we're going to do a third floor. So, is there a way we could get in a world where we can get away with something like this? I doubt it. I think making this another useless hallway is annoying to me. Really don't want to make this another useless hallway, because it's useless on the first floor too. I think what I could do here instead is, and then shrink it by 2. Like, keep this solid right here, and then have this hallway that leads to this. And then this can go probably, right? And then you have this huge room that's available for whatever you want. I like this. And then this tiny room for whatever you want to decorate it as. And then I want to do something. I want to definitely do like a bedroom here or something. But I don't know how I want to cut this wall off. I like that. Like the off-center door. I like that a bit. I like this. I think I'm okay with this layout here. You've got this obvious wall, this window, floor to ceiling window here, and then you have this room over here. I'm not sure what to do with this room. This might be, it might be just like a, excuse me, a decor room. Nothing special in it. Are armor stands in this version of Minecraft? Because it'd be cool to put some like trophies and stuff in here. Maybe there's like a trophy room. I'd like that actually. I think that'd look cool. All right. Cool. We have created our second floor. And then everything door-wise are not pillars in this, so that is contrasting the first floor, which I like. Well, I was talking about D&D before I got distracted about building. I think the only issue with me recording and uploading a one-shot is my one-shots are weird. I consistently take not Minecraft. I take D&D as a format and I do some weird stuff with it. I've always liked doing stuff like that with D&D, so it usually comes out to be like very cool and unique concepts for one shots, but sometimes they're stinkers. I've had one or two pretty stinky one-shots where it's just like, oh, this concept did not work. Whoops. I am walling everything up like that's what I'm going to be doing. Wow. Don't mind me. I think I'm going to make this a window here. And then we'll keep the... And then I want to make this a window, I think. Yeah. I don't know. I think that'd be cool. Maybe record D&D, upload it once in a while. I doubt I would, though. Just because I'm not a... I don't... I'm not saying that I'm a terrible DM or something, but I don't know. I make some pretty dumb takes in my D&D that usually benefits the players, and I've made plenty of stupid rulings where it's like, nope, that's just not in the rules at all. But oh well, it's kind of, I guess that's the pace of D&D, and I'd be okay with that, I guess. I don't know. I think I'd just be nervous to like play D&D on camera and deal with like people watching what would essentially in my head be like hanging out with friends. I think that's the thing I'd be hung up on. Because I mean, I play D&D for fun, and I host D&D to like with friends to make fun, and kind of don't care what people like. I don't care about like rules and stuff. I'm usually breaking a core fundamental part about D&D because I want to. One of my favorite one-shots I've run very consistently is a one-shot about it's okay, if you've ever played Deep Rock Galactic, you know what I mean by the phrase it's sabotage but in D&D. And if you've never played Deep Rock Galactic, first of all, go fix that. Second of all, basically, I dropped the players off in a random cave. This cave, everyone's a dwarf, for context. Dwarf or dwarf con. I have homebrew races of the little cons from VR chat, those little con models. I have a whole homebrew race dedicated to them. They have their own lore and everything. That doesn't matter right now, though. So everyone's a dwarf or dwarf con. Dark vision doesn't work in these caves because it's so dusty that you have to use special light to specifically pierce through dust rather than darkness. Yes, it's contrived because everyone has dark vision, and I didn't want to deal with it. But it makes sense in lore. Everyone's character gets a one of 6 special items that would be what the classes get in the video game. So the platforms, sentry guns, uh, platforms that can stay up in the air, so you can cross big areas. Turrets to shoot enemies passively throughout, automatically in your turn. Light sources that will light up the area for everyone. What else? Oh God, what else? The ability to do a critical hit with a melee weapon, like the power attack. A few other things I can't remember off the top of my head. C4, I know that one is a thing. And the gimmick is they have to complete the objective, which in Sabotage, the game mode, is destroy 2 generators and to disable a shield to activate a boss fight to destroy a rival company's data center. In the version I have, it's very similar. There's like a rival thing going on where they're inside the caves of our mountain keep. We're sending you down to get rid of them. You're a volunteer. So they go down, they find the two machines. They can either hack it themselves, they can either destroy it themselves, or they can call down an artificer's robot to take care of the hacking for them. So you have, if they manually destroy it based on their, I think the machine has 100 health, so if they're really strong, they can knock it out in like 2 or 3 turns if they're doing like 30-40 damage. They're at level 8 usually in these. Level 7, I think I usually put them at. For something I'll explain in a second. So I gotta go grab some more logs. I think we'll wait until next episode to do that. So I want to complete this train of thought. So if they are confident they can destroy it, somebody is wasting their turn or utilizing their turn to complete the objective. As long as the objective survives, enemies can spawn. Usually I only do one wave just because it's difficult to get a second wave in without overwhelming everyone. I have gotten a second wave in one of them. So once the machine is down, the last of the enemies spawn. Everyone takes them out. Yippee. There are ores in the walls. There's nitra, which is a resource that if you collect enough of, you can call a resupply. A resupply restores half of everything you have, so spell slots, health, ammo if you have that, stuff. Oh, and everyone has gun proficiencies. I forgot to mention that. So anything that would be restored on a long rest, you would gain half of that, rounded up. So if it's like you get 1 per long rest, you always get 1 on a resupply. But if you got 2 on a long rest, you'd get 1 still. And a lot of the powers, like the super attack, the C4, platforms, stuff like that, that also restores on a resupply. So the special part about the Dwarven one shot, specifically the sabotage variant, is when the attack begins, usually there's an automated defense, which is a swarm of robots, robotic type creatures that do something specific. For example, I have a charger that sounds like a freight train, and players get the sound of a freight train 2 turns usually before it appears and slams into somebody. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. What else? That I just know the charger because everyone hates the charger. That's kind of the gimmick of them. And then bugs usually, like bugs from DRG, usually respond to the noise occurring. So later waves are the normal bugs. The first wave is usually the defenses. It all comes to a head when the boss spawns. Robots usually primarily swarm you, and then occasionally normal bugs will appear. I like the one shot a lot. And industrial sabotage is usually the one I start players on because it's straightforward. Boom, boom, 2 objectives. You're doing this. You're doing this. Okay, now fight this boss, kind of deal. Excuse me. Wow, my throat is dry. So the next one I've done one that was not industrial. I've done a few actually. I did salvage. Salvage did all right. I wasn't happy how I did it. Like I said, if you don't know DRG, salvage is you repair these mini mules. You have mules that you put resources in. In my game, it's just a universal bag of holding. It's a bag of holding that's connected to everyone. So you repair these little robots. I think what I did was what I've done for these. I haven't done one of these in a few years. You repair some repair droids that, or some droids, some artificers, robots, to get the magic circle. You enter and exit through a magic circle. Get a magic circle repaired so you can exit. And you also salvage any resources that a previous team's lost. And potentially rescue anyone, because in my game, you know, NPCs do exist. So, wow, I rambled. I apologize, but I think I'm going to call it here. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Tomorrow, you know, we'll have some fun. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll figure out if I ever get OT what we're going to do. So, until then, bye-bye.